All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we officially got the announcement that all of us have been waiting for regarding Bungie's upcoming live service extraction shooter video game known as Marathon. Last we heard from this game, there was a bunch of drama surrounding the art being stolen from a random artist on Twitter, this being their fourth or fifth time Bungie has done something like this. But now, after questioning, and it's so funny because I did a video just a couple of days ago talking about Marathon and asking, where is everybody? What are they going to do? They're going to have to say something pretty soon. And I was saying that they're going to have basically from a month or less to try to say something because the game's coming out soon. Well, apparently now we finally have this answer that Marathon has officially been delayed, and Bungie has an entirely long statement about the delay that we're going to get into with some interesting information that I think a lot of people are not quite talking about. So let's get into this video. But of course, before we do, special shout out to the 90,200 plus that are subscribed to the channel right now. And the over 50% of you that are not subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button today. If you enjoyed the content, I would greatly appreciate it. We're on the road to 100,000. So we have this headline here from Bungie's main website. This says Marathon Development Update. Thank you not only for your passionate feedback, oh yeah, really passionate by the way, around the Marathon reveal and the alpha playtest, but also for your patience while we took the time to listen closely and chart our next steps. Now, I want to make it very clear, this announcement is coming after the revelation that the creative director for Marathon was replaced. So I find that to be very interesting. Chances are they're going to go in a whole nother direction, which I also said a couple of days ago. And we have confirmation of that in this particular breakdown. It says, though every comment and real-time conversation on social media and Discord, your voice has been strong and clear. We've taken this to heart, and we know we need more time to craft Marathon into the game that truly reflects your passion. It's always about your passion, right? If they really cared about your passion, they would have cared about it in the beginning, but they clearly didn't care about it. After much discussion with our developer team, we've made the decision to delay the September 23rd release. So the game is officially delayed, but here's how much they tried not to delay the game. There was articles that were being written, not even just a couple of days ago. This article is about 4 days old, 4 days old, with a headline that reads, Bungie's Marathon is still scheduled to release during the fiscal year of 2025. During Sony's annual business presentation, it's been revealed that the company still expects Bungie's Marathon to release during this year, despite the game's issues. So they were saying that this game was going to be released this year, and now they're saying that it's being delayed from September, or from the September release, which means this game's not coming out this year. There's no way in hell that Marathon is coming out this year, because apparently they're going to be changing the game almost entirely, which is hilarious. Let's get into it. The alpha test created an opportunity for us to calibrate and focus the game on what will make it uniquely compelling. Survival under pressure, mystery, and lore around every corner, raid-like endgame challenges, and Bungie's genre-defining FPS combat. We're using this time to empower the team to create the intense, high-stakes experience that a title like Marathon is built around. This means deepening the relationship between the developers and the game's most important voices, our players. Again, if we were that important, they would have cared about it in the beginning. Over the next few months, which, by the way, they delayed it in September, so they're saying over the next few months, which means it's not coming out this year. So 4 days ago, they were saying it was going to come out this year on the investors call, and now it's not. So take that for what it's worth. Over the next few months, we'll continue closed testing, including participants from the alpha, to deploy gameplay updates and test new features as they come online. Some of our immediate focus areas will be the following. Now, this is where it gets very good, because this is where the biggest piece of information is at. This is extremely telling, because this proves to me that they're going to go in the complete other direction. Everybody knows what Marathon looks like now. Everybody knows this is what Marathon looks like now. Okay? This weird freaking, like, I don't know, cyberpunk, colorful, neon, yellow, green, teal, blue color scheme, whatever. This is what Marathon looks like now. You guys remember what Marathon used to look like. It was more Doom style. It was dark. It was gritty, right? It was a little more realistic, even though back then graphics were bad. Well, now, apparently, look at what they're going to be doing to the game. They're going to be upping the survival game. They're going to add more challenging and engaging AI encounters, more rewarding runs with new types of loot and dynamic events, making combat more tense and strategic, doubling down on the universe to increase visual fidelity, more narrative and environmental storytelling to discover and interact with, and the biggest part that nobody's talking about. I've seen nobody talking about this on Twitter, and I'm going to make a post right after this video talking about this because this is the biggest part of this particular announcement. They said that they're going to be going with a darker tone that is going to deliver on the themes of the original trilogy. So I am going to take that as they are going to be completely changing up the art style of Marathon. And they're going to go from their cyberpunk weird kind of nonsense to a potentially more darker tone that is going to be more reminiscent of the original trilogy, which we all know what that looked like. That looked like more like Doom. It was darker, more bloody. It seems as if they are completely changing up almost everything, at least from a visual perspective. We have no confirmation of this, but my thing is like, why would you say something like this unless you're going to step away from the art style that this game is currently? Now that brings up the question, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Is it because of the backlash that they were getting from all the players? I don't think so. I don't think that's everything. I think that it's a mix of the backlash they were getting when the art style was first revealed, and it also has to do with the artists that they stole art from, because the artist was saying that their art was in everything. Damn near the entire game had some aspect of art that was stolen from this person. So I guarantee you it's a combination of people not liking the style and also the fact that the artist, well, they admitted they stole from them. So at this point, you might as well revamp everything, which it probably is why they brought in that new creative director into the game. So the fact that they're going back to the original trilogy themes is very interesting, and it tells me that they have a lot of development time on their hands. This game is not going to be released anytime soon. They said they're going to announce a release date sometime in September. I guarantee you that's probably not going to happen. I guarantee you in September, chances are it's going to be delayed again, and they're going to announce some sort of release date in 2026, most likely maybe around summertime. I got to imagine they need probably another year at the minimum to make all of these promises happen. They have to. They just have to. Anyway, so adding more social experiences, they're going to have a better player experience for solo mode and duos mode. They're adding proximity chat so social stories can come to life. So they're backing away from the no proximity chat, and they're going to be adding proximity chat. This was a huge thing that people were complaining about, and now they're going to add that into the game. So for all of the people who are Bungie shills, who are like, why are you complaining? Stop complaining. All you guys do is complain. Who cares if we don't have proximity chat? And then they'll gaslight you and they'll say, yeah, I would love proximity chat, but if Bungie says that we don't have it, then it's in the, I'll trust Bungie that we shouldn't have it. Well, guess what? Now you got what you want. And it wasn't because you did anything. It's because other people were complaining on your behalf, because you're too much of a corporate pussy to actually do anything to make change in the gaming industry. You're too busy bending over on your knees with a PS5 logo right above your booty hole, pretending as if you're doing a goddamn thing in this industry when all you're doing is being on the receiving end of every brand new corporate fuckover that they could possibly do on you. But in any case, it says you'll hear from us again later this fall when we can share the progress we made alongside the game's new release date. Thank you again for your patience and, much more importantly, your passion. Your continued feedback will help us to make Marathon the incredible gaming experience we all know that it can be. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make it very clear that this entire thing is telling me, especially this part right here, that they are going to be mass changing this game. They delayed this game. They don't have a release date because they know that they have nothing they can commit to right now. They have to make drastic changes, and they have to make it fast. The amount of crunch that's going to be happening at Bungie over the next year is going to be astronomical. And I guarantee you we're not going to get a release date this year. I highly doubt it. I could be wrong. but I highly doubt it. I think when September comes, they're going to say we need more time, and we're going to announce a release date sometime in January, maybe even December of this year. But they'll announce a release date in January for sometime in the middle of spring or summer of next year. That's where I see this going down. Because they also, by the way, don't want to release next to Grand Theft Auto. Nobody wants to release next to Grand Theft Auto 6. So they got to find a way to release this game sooner rather than later. Otherwise, they're going to have to, run the risk of releasing after GTA, which that's not going to be a good look. They're going to have to wait a while, and then that's going to push them sometime into the summer period. So we'll see what ends up happening. But at this point, we've gotten everything that we saw coming when it comes to Marathon. Everybody was guessing that this game was going to be delayed. Everybody was saying that it was only a matter of time before they announce it. And now we are here, and Marathon is not going to see the light of day for 2025. So you guys can let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this entire debacle? This entire thing with Marathon? Do you think this game's going to get canceled? Do you think it's ever going to see the light of day? Or if you do think it's going to release, when do you think it's going to release? Are we looking at this year? Are we looking at next year, the beginning, the middle? When are we looking at this game coming out? You can let me know in the comments down below. And special shout out to the 90,200 plus you that are subscribed to the channel. And if you enjoyed this video, consider hitting that subscribe button today. And I'll see you guys on the next one.